All right, looks like we got a few people coming in to do some requests. You got anything else you want to cover before we start bringing some people in, do some open mic?
Let the people take direction here.
Yeah. So, well, we usually always try to go with somebody new first if we can. So we're going to go, we got our old buddy from England, all the way from England. We've got Shubin. My buddy Shub's, all the way from Tottenham in North London. So what time is it there, my friend? How you doing? I'm not sure. He requested to speak a bit ago, so he might be away from it. We also have Anthony, our old friend Anthony as well. So yeah, we'll just kind of, if you're not speaking, mute yourself. But if you got a topic you want to bring up, we're happy to bring it up. I don't know, Shubs or Anthony, who wants to go first?
So sorry to interrupt.
You're good. You're not interrupting. We're good. How you doing, my friend?
So Jake, long time listener, first time caller, all the way from across the water. And I'll keep it very, very brief because you're the one that got me into wrestling via AEW and WWE, and I think you're trying to get me into NXT now. But
it's what I do,
and I'm enjoying this because I was saying to you off air that I really liked Sol Ruca. We saw on Smackdown, and
it's Sol Ruca. Yeah, it's actually funny. I had that written down when you texted me that because I was going to bring that up at some point when we talked about it, just because I thought they did so very well with presenting the folks on SmackDown going into the NXT shows, because Sol Ruca is a star. She's been on NXT for over a year now. I know she had a big injury and she was off for a while, but I mean, she's one of those people that, you know, she's just got that it factor. Whatever it is, she's got it in spades, whether it's just her personality, it's a physical charisma too, because she does some great and highly athletic, and because he was a gymnast and does some great moves and stuff in the ring, but it's just the way she carries herself. You know, there's something about her that just clicks, and you can kind of see they're strapping the rocket to her. I wouldn't be surprised if her and Zarya get into a feud soon, so she can kind of have a blood feud, because like George and I always talked about, NXT's biggest strengths is giving people, letting them do everything that they can, you know, whether they start off as a babyface or a heel, let them start off with that, but then eventually turn them to the other way, whether it's babyface or heel, you know, make sure they get into like a friendship situation that can break up, so they have that big real feud where you can have intense matches. And I think that's kind of where she's heading next. But yeah,
I'll extend my olive branch to Shubin right now. Chelsea defeated PSG 3-0 to win their second club world title.
Oh, Lord Almighty!
I
was trying to avoid it.
Yeah. Let that one go, George. We appreciate it. But yeah.
I just update. That's all I do.
Yeah, well,
but I did have one question.
There's no team that I hate more than Chelsea. So.
Well, I can think of one, but I'll do that.
Nope. For me, it's them. They are my number one. But yeah, no. And also too, the Club World Cup. I mean, like, let's be real. That's okay. Less important than, like a match on Main Event, I guess. It's trying to, what the old shit, jacked and metal. No, but thanks, Shubes. I'm really glad.
I just have one question though. Just one question before I go.
I was going to bring up. What's up?
Well, no, it's basically this. What it is, obviously, WWE and NXT are here on Netflix, and one of the things I did notice this morning is that NXT went much higher up. Normally, like the top 10 or top 20 is going to be WWE, whatever, but it's going to be on there. But NXT had really gone up. So, do you think, given how NXT is just growing from strength to strength over the years, and NXT, we obviously had NXT UK and kind of like NXT Europe, do you see them doing NXT European tours? Because I'm assuming because of Great American Bash, that's the reason why it went so high up.
I mean, that's a good question. Honestly, I hadn't thought about that at all, in the sense, because I know with NXT, obviously they do, I'd say like 90% of their shows in the PC. Because they do have shows, and it's not always their PLEs, because they've done shows like the 2600 Arena show for the ECW show they did pretty recently. That was just a regular NXT. One of the ones they did in Center Stage, just a regular NXT. So but they've been able to do, for the PLEs, they've been able to do bigger arenas. I'm not sure if there's a big enough draw for it, but I feel like it's not at this moment, but he's got a point. I mean, they are going from strength to strength, and the CW has been one of the biggest reasons I feel like why, because they promote them I mean, they're on the CW NASCAR. I don't watch a lot of CW, but like I do watch some certain sports, or will flip through it, or it's on my TV from watching it. There's NXT commercials, I swear, in almost every single commercial break, especially during sports. So
I would think also, Jake, the other thing that I noticed yesterday was it wasn't promoted as NXT's Great American Bash. It was promoted as WWE Great American Bash. You notice that?
No, I didn't, but I'm not, I mean, I'm not surprised by it. I don't think it's probably one of those things that just like subconsciously, I don't even notice it, you know?
Yeah, the hashtag caught me off guard when I saw it yesterday. I was like, okay, that's a little different.
Oh, so it was like and then they put the little logo with the hashtags on it. Now, I could see if maybe they were doing like a regular, like the main, like a main roster tour and having the NXT folks on that. And maybe there are smaller venues they could kind of do with it. I'm just not sure if there's enough of a benefit to do that at this point.
Yeah, they're not
I wouldn't be surprised
if those
if
kids in that situation, Jake.
Yeah.
Not yet.
No, and what I was going to say is I would think there would be a better chance of them branching out and having like PCs in, whether it's in the UK or Europe or wherever, that eventually maybe they do like NXT shows in those regions and then they do something with that. I just don't know. Yeah. Cause I mean, those NXT kids, some of them could be ready to go and do a tour like that, but not a lot of them. A lot of them, they're there for a reason. They're learning. And
once they move to Vegas, which they're gonna.
When is that happening? Yeah, I heard that.
They're kind of doing it. That's me talking, so you take it for
but I mean, it would make a lot of sense.
When they move everything to Vegas, that changes up their touring type thing for NXT. So they're going to start moving around that area, and that'll be different. They're not going to. I don't think they're going to go over to England though, but they might. I
mean, they could. No, but I think if they move over, that'd be so they wouldn't do like the Florida cities kind of tour. They would do more of like the Southwest, which is where I live, so I would not be opposed to that. No,
because they're doing the tours around Florida.
Yeah, they do like this. Yeah, they do like.
And they get between 200, 500, maybe more people than that, and that's fine.
Yeah, it just depends on the venues, but they're usually like.
Once you move it out to Vegas, then you're going to have a different kind of crowd showing up and different kind of people. You're always going to have that tourist. That's why WWE went there for their WrestleMania. You're going to have different touristy people coming in, and NXT is always going to be plopped around there. So you're going to get different people in every week.
Yeah, no, that's a good point. I mean, that'd be one of those things where, because if I don't go up as often as I used to, but I was just in Vegas a couple of weeks ago. Yeah, if I was in Vegas and knew there was an NXT show and you're going to apply for tickets or whatever, I would absolutely go. Especially if they had it somewhere. I mean, there's enough places not that far off the strip they could make that work, and that would be, I mean, that would be a very interesting thing for them to do, just in the sense of moving I mean, how long have they been in Florida? I mean, because they had FCW before they had NXT, and that was where, I mean, like that's where Seth Rollins started. And the Usos down in FCW. So I mean, that was under like Steve Kern and stuff. So
yeah, it's not a if, it's a when.
Right,
that's definite. So.
Yeah, because I've also heard like different rumors about how they want to get out of Connecticut for whatever reasons.
Yeah, we talked about that already. That's my rumor.
Yeah, no, but but I also read it somewhere. I read it somewhere not that long afterwards, and I almost sent it to you, but it was like 10:30 my time, so I didn't want to text you that early. But no, thanks, Shubes. That was awesome. I'm glad you got to finally come on. I was wondering if maybe because it's like a 6-hour time difference for him.
Yeah, he asked this question right to bed.
Yeah, he did. He pieced her right out. No, that was awesome, though. That was great. So yeah, hey, we could say we're worldwide. We just had somebody coming in from North London. That's awesome.
God, they talk so cool too. I love the way he talks.
No, it's funny. That's one of the reasons why people, our soccer team, Tottenham, finally won a trophy for the first time in like 17 years this year. But people always like, how can you root for them? They always break your heart. I'm like, yeah, but I've got so many friends from the team. And as an adult, it's hard to make friends. And most of my friends now are because I've hung out and watched that team with the group that I watch with. And then I got sent over to Tottenham in 2017. We do a 50-50 raffle for every game. And I won the big prize at the end of the season, which was a trip over, to the old stadium before they destroyed it and built the new one. But Anthony, are you around? You got a question for us, bud?
Yeah, I'm just watching the, pre-show right now for Evolution. And I wonder, you think this is going to start being a yearly show?
I mean, it could. I also just feel like it's one of those things that like it's cool to have and I appreciate it, but it's also like, I mean, the women are featured so much that is it really necessary? You know, because I mean, originally it was set up. I mean, the original one was set up because the ladies didn't go to Saudi, as far as I understood. That was kind of like they were able to get their own big show and a big payday out of it was the essential reason for it. But I know that you hear some ladies, like I've heard Becky say that like, yeah, it's cool that we're doing this, but do we need it? So, but also
it'd be a major turnaround in business if they started doing this every year.
I mean, you got the chance with like introducing this, Battle Royal tonight with an actual championship opportunity. That could be something used going forward to every year. You can say, okay, we got a number one contender for this, and then we can set that up for Clash. So you got a sort of a yearly ongoing chance for someone to get a title opportunity. So there's that. You got a chance.
Which they do at the Royal Rumble, right?
Oh yeah.
Or no.
But that's the Rumble's for Mania. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So yeah, I see what you're saying, Ant. I don't know.
I totally see what you're saying, but it's also one of those things that I just don't know if it's necessary because they're featured so much and they're so involved in the shows. And, you know, and now when they tour, like when they go to Europe or when they go to Saudi or when the women are an important part of the show, as where I feel like when Evolution first started, it still wasn't, it's nowhere near where it was now. So I could see them doing it, but I wouldn't think so. I would think probably not because I just don't feel like that it's as necessary as it was. I was still surprised back when George first found out that this was going to happen in July back in, I think it was like March or April that you mentioned this. And I was surprised then that it was happening, but here we are. I'm ready to watch it. I'm excited for it.
Yeah, it came out of nowhere. I mean, we just saw the graphic. We didn't get any kind of an announcement from any of the talent or any kind of like press. It just, it's going to be part of the Atlanta Saturday Night Main Event weekend. It's like, oh, okay, that's cool. I like that.
Yeah. And I mean, that's also a good thing if it's one of those things where because it seems like that's going to be a thing that they do with TKO now, where they're going to try to do more of these weekends where they take over a city. You know, if it works out and you can have it as part of one of those, I could see that being something that they do. Maybe not annually, maybe like every other year or like every 18 months or something. Like if it works out, I just don't think it's going to be something that's guaranteed on the schedule, but we'll see. It's also, this could be, we'll see how successful this is. Could draw.
That's true too. That's true.
Draw major eyes, could have major moments. You know, it's one of those things where if there's a draw and there's money to be made, they will make their money.
If they were to team it up once a year after a Saturday night's main event in the same city, I could do that. I'd go for that.
That would work. That would be really good.
And doing it almost like they did with this one, where you have an NXT show, a Saturday night's main event, and you know what I mean? So that's one of those things where there are fans that would want to go to all shows, but there's certain people that they would be really excited to see. And like we were just talking about how NXT doesn't travel that much. Like if it was like, I don't know, let's say Seattle, and they were big NXT fans, how often are they going to get to Florida? But if they're
I miss the NXT house shows.
Yeah, right. Me too. Oh man, I would love to go to one of those.
I went to one here in St. Louis. It was about 2018. Main event was He Who Shall Not Be Named versus Tommaso Ciampa. But the real star of that show was we got Adam Cole and I hope Adam Cole's going to be okay. We got Adam Cole and Ricochet before he went crazy, and being front row for that inside of the Family Arena was awesome. Also, it was Adam's birthday, so we all cheered for him. But that was the first house show NXT event I ever been to. We had a lot of fun, and I really wish they would do more of those here in Missouri.
I mean, they haven't done any house shows outside of Florida in forever. No, they did one here forever, and I didn't go to it, but I had some friends that went to it, and I've seen pictures of it. It would be something that, I mean, especially with, there's a lot of smaller venues they could do. I feel like George is probably right though, that if they are going to be moving to Vegas and that's like the big focus, you just kind of tread the water as you go until the move happens and then figure out a travel schedule. Although being in Vegas, I mean, that's an easy city to travel in and out of. The airport's right in the city. It's not far away at all. And obviously everywhere flies to Vegas. You know, it wouldn't be too difficult for them to book some decent travel out of there.
You know, the more I think about it, if you were to have like a big Saturday night's main event, like one of the bigger ones, like last night was a big one, I think.
Right.
And if you were to have that and then do one Evolution a year, piggybacking off of the Saturday night's main event, without the NXT at all, because I think that might be a little much if you had 3 shows to pay for. If you have 2 shows to pay for, I would do that. Like, I go to Saturday night's main event and then come back for Evolution the next night. That'd be all right.
And they do the combo ticket deals. Yeah.
I would be all about that, Anthony. You might have changed my mind.
Yeah, it's not a bad idea. Because, like, we had a 4-card match for Saturday night main event, and take away the commercials and all that stuff. But like, if you're at the actual event, that's not a lot of wrestling. And you notice that it was all guys matches, and they did promote Evolution within the crowd and the graphics. And then you come back for the women's show the very next night. I mean, it's almost like a night 1, night 2 type of situation, but it's not so heavy. It's not like a Mania or a SummerSlam. It's actually just something you can do. I mean, I really hope this weekend for them is a success and they start talking about it. And the other thing that I just thought about, do you think we see any Evolve talent show up at this thing tonight?
No. I mean, no. I really don't. I don't
either.
No, I mean, I feel like, NXT is like developmental, but it's like developmental with a purpose almost. Like, you know, like Evolve is just developmental at this point.
If you're going to have your main event be all women, you want women that people know.
Yeah.
I'm saying more like, you know, in the front row kind of thing. Like they got a champion down there who seems to be doing pretty good from what I've seen. I mean, you can maybe do that, but I don't think they're going to be actually in any kind of matches, not even the battle.
I wouldn't think it this year. I feel like you would do that. If Evolve talent's going to be shown, you show them at NXT shows. You know, it's the step up, and you show the NXT talent you show NXT, and any NXT ladies that aren't on this show that you want to give a rub to, have them in the crowd. You know, it's kind of it's a stepping stone. I wouldn't be surprised if as you know, Evolve starts to grow, if they'll see more of the people that are ready to come up from Evolve into NXT. You'll see them in the crowd, almost kind of like the old, Black and Gold days when somebody would get signed and then they would show up in the crowd in the suit or whatever. I could see that happening for sure. I'm excited for this show though. I'm very curious to see, I'm curious to see how the Battle Royal goes, you know, and to see who wins it. Like, that's really one of those,
I think it opens the show.
I dig the partnership with Maybelline, by the way.
Yeah,
it makes sense.
No, it does. Absolutely. No, I forget. I feel like it was over. I think it was Money in the Bank. It was some PLE where Cole just, he said it at one point where he was like, Maybelline, the official, and he just said it kind of like in passing. And I'm like, wait, what? And then it's obviously been a bigger part of this one. It absolutely makes sense. I mean, you want to appeal to everybody with it. I mean, how much makeup do they probably use in that company anyway? They probably got a smoking deal on like makeup in bulk for all the people in the back. No, I think it's great. Plus, it's one of those things that, I mean, as we've talked about, you want to appeal to as many fans as possible. You don't just want, you know, guys from 15 to 50 in your audience. Like, you've got to have a mix. You want to have,
it can't all be about energy drinks and American beer and stuff. You gotta branch out your sponsors and stuff, gain other eyes.
Yeah, no, and it's great too for like this pay-per-view. It's perfect for it. It makes a lot of sense.
Who is that?
Oh, it's Tori.
It's Tori.
Oh, look at Tori.
Yeah. Her and Stacy Keibler, man, they look
just
basically
for the record. She's around my age, so.
I know, it's seriously, like.
I'm still trying to figure out how
Chris Nitro, guys.
Oh my God.
She was on Nitro, and not like, well, she was on at the end too, but she was like on Nitro in like 98, 99. It's like, wow. Good for her, man.
She was part of one of my favorite WCW 2000 storylines with her, Kidman, and Shane Douglas.
Yeah.
Say what you want about Russo's booking. At least he had the right people and the right stories.
No, he did not. He had a couple of things that were no, like go back and really watch it. That was
trust me, I know. I was being sarcastic.
Yeah, no, yeah.